The Summons to Xibalba. Years had passed in quiet growth. One afternoon, exploring the dusty corners of their home, Hunapu and Xibalba found it, a heavy wooden chest, hidden away. Inside, wrapped in oiled cloth, was their father's ballgame equipment, the solid rubber ball, the leather pads, the yokes worn for the sacred game. It felt like holding a memory. They took the gear to the old court their father had built. The moment the ball struck the stone wall, a forgotten energy filled the air. They moved in perfect sync, a dance of brothers, their shouts and the thud of the ball echoing through the valley. They were not just playing a game, they were waking a legend. Deep below the earth, in the dark realm of Xibalba, the noise was an intrusion. It rumbled through the halls of bone and shadow, a defiant sound of life in a place of death. One of the lords, a being of shadow and spite, looked up from his throne, his face twisting in fury. "It is the suns," another lord hissed, his voice like grinding stones. "Just like their father. They mock us with their noise. They think the world above is theirs to shake." The fury in Xibalba grew, a cold, silent storm waiting to be unleashed. Back on the court, their game was interrupted by a new sound, the flutter of leathery wings. A messenger from the underworld, a creature with the body of a man and the head of a screech owl, landed before them. It held out a dark, pulsing summons. Xibalba watched from the other side of the court. He saw the summons, and he felt a cold dread that was not his own. It was an inherited fear, a ghost of his father's fate. But beneath the dread, something else sparked, a hard, sharp anger. The messenger departed, leaving the summons hovering in the air. The twins came together, the forgotten game ball lying at their feet. They didn't need to speak. They both knew what this was. Not an invitation, but a death sentence, the same one their father had received. Hunapu closed his eyes, and for a moment, he saw his father's face, not as a distant hero, but as a man who walked into a trap, never to return. He felt the weight of that loss, the injustice that had been allowed to fester in the darkness below. Xibalba opened his eyes, and they burned with a cold fire. Their grandmother had told them the stories, the warnings. The lords of Xibalba expected them to be afraid, to fail the tests as their father had. They were wrong. Fear had been replaced by purpose. They picked up their father's equipment, not as players, but as warriors. They would go to Xibalba. They would face the tests and the tricks. But they would not be victims. This time, the sons would finish what the father had started. This was not about survival. It was about revenge.